Ah, there it goes. Good. It's recording now. Okay, now I'm going to be really, really experimental, but I've been just so impatient. Okay, this is an unfinished episode, unedited. It's fresh. And this is the latest episode of The New All in the Family. There's some notes in it. You'll see as I go in. We got about half an episode drafted or scripted. So let me go right into it. The New All in the Family, episode 28. Fade in. Voiceover. Previously on The New All in the Family. Internal. UC Irvine. Dean's office. Day. Dean Watkins is sitting at his desk, Mike facing him from the other side. Dean Watkins. Thank you for coming right in. Mike, I won't beat around. I called you in because a complaint was filed against you for sexual harassment. Cut 2. Mike. You're letting me go, aren't you? Dean Watkins. Unfortunately, Mike, yes. Cut 2. Internal, external, Mike's car, Day. Mike is driving with tension on his face. Intercut, internal, academic office of some kind, Day. Idina is at her desk, well groomed for a professional setting. Idina, lighting up. Mike Stivic from UC Irvine. How have you been? Mike. Well, I'd like to say fine, but I just lost my job there. Do you know anything about that? Idina, suspicious. I'm sorry, how did you get my number? Cut 2. External. Jenny's front door, Day. Giselle rings the bell. No answer for what seems like a long time, while Giselle tries to stand straight in front of the door. Cut 2. Giselle, struggling to yell, but can only manage a slow, feeble wail. Jenny! Big yawn, exhale. Oh, my God. I'm really booped now. Where am I going to go? Cut 2. Internal. Samantha's hospital room. Day. She is walking with the assistance of 2 nurses, each holding one arm while Dr. Morfield looks on. Samantha partly resists the nurses and tries to move independently. Samantha. It's okay. I can do it on my own. Nurse, smiling. That's really great, honey, but you've been bedridden for a while. Cut 2. Samantha stumbles, and the nurses tighten their grip on her. Nurse. See? Samantha. But I gotta get out of here. I got my school. Cut 2. What am I gonna do? Second nurse. You'll take it easy, one step at a time. Cut 2. Internal. Walensky's office. Day. Walensky is sitting at his desk across from Mike. Walensky with heavy breath. Phew. It looks like you just signed your career away. Cut 2. Mike. You mean there's no legal option? Cut 2. Why would she even want to do something like this? Walensky. You were in a senior position, right? Mike. Yeah, I was her tutor, her mentor. She was my teaching assistant. Walensky. And you dated her. Don't you see the setup and implications of that? Mike. You know what? I don't think it's her at all. I think it's the university succumbing to political and economic pressure. Cut 2. Walensky. Your family needs you, and you can make a big difference to them. Cut 2. Cut back and prepare for your own financial winter. External. Jenny's front door. Day. Jenny's door opens and Jenny appears in a white nightgown, looking tired and perplexed. Jenny. What's going on? Oh, don't tell me Tom's in trouble again. What now, officer? Third officer, Stewart. I guess you didn't know, but you got a lady sleeping on your doorstep. Jenny. What? Are you kidding me? She looks and sees Giselle in Officer Tannen's loose grip. Jenny, shocked. Giselle, what happened to you? Cut 2. Internal, Jenny's living room. Day. Giselle is supine on the couch, semi-conscious. Cut 2. Jenny's holding Giselle's phone. Jenny. Who's this? Roseanne, Giselle's mom, voiceover, filter. It's her mother. She called me. It sounded like she needed a place to crash. Cut 2. Giselle, more alert, noticing the officers. You called the police? What happened? Roseanne, Giselle's mom, voiceover, filtered. Yeah, that's what I like to know, too. Internal. Samantha's hospital room, day. Kamala, Dr. Morfield, and Samantha, sitting up on the edge of her bed, are there. Dr. Morfield. Samantha, would you mind if I had a talk with Kamala outside? Samantha, mixed feeling. Yeah, sure, I guess. Internal. Hospital patient room, day. Dr. Morfield is sitting with Kamala. Dr. Morfield. I have total confidence in you taking care of Samantha. But I didn't bring you in to talk about Samantha. I want to talk about you. Kamala, startled. What? Theme song, here. Dr. Morfield. I know this is unofficial, because you didn't seek out my services, but actually I am concerned about you. Kamala. Very uneasy, defensive. I don't understand. I think I've kept it really together despite things that would have pushed others to suicide. You have no idea everything I've had to contend with. This was just the tip of a huge iceberg what Samantha and I went through. You think I need to be in treatment? I'm not in need of any psychology. I just, amazingly, got on top of so many assaults on me, my body, my race, my gender. You couldn't possibly comprehend it. Dr. Morfield listens intently and with care. Kamala. And on top of that, I kept my grade point average really high. And I saved my girlfriend's life and still supported her when I needed support and really could have used her understanding, but I couldn't because, Dr. Morfield, stop right there. That's why I brought you in. You're so supportive of others, but who's supporting you? Kamala. I am, and I'm doing a hell of a good job, and my mom supports me. I'm also busy at an internship helping abused and disadvantaged women. Dr. Morfield. I'm glad to hear that, but I'm concerned because your girlfriend, who you've made a commitment to love and invest your heart in, is not well. Kamala. Don't worry, doctor. I'm not the kind of person who just dumps people who have problems. I'll be there for her. Dr. Morfield. Serious, concerned. Kamala. Samantha has a lot of serious issues going on. She brings a huge lot to the table. Not just the immediate situation, but a whole history. And now she's got post-traumatic stress on top of everything. It's going to be there in your face, whether you're ready for it or not. Kamala. I'm the master at having things in my face that no one should have to deal with. Dr. Morfield. Do you mind if I just share with you my own observation of the two of you together? Kamala. Sure. Dr. Morfield. Now, as you know, Samantha is coming from a difficult situation. But at the same time, you two both have needs. When I've observed you both, she's always the person needing support, while you're the one supporting. She has a lot on her mind, and she's also very strong-minded and filled with her issues that she's been carrying around for a long time. I don't want you to get lost in trying to support and help her. She needs to learn to master her own problems, just as you've learned to master yours. And maybe going through this incident put her in the exact right place she's always needed to be, getting professional help. Kamala. I couldn't agree with you more. But actually, I'm no pushover, and I do stand up for myself. You just haven't seen it. In fact, I was very tough with her the other day when she didn't want to acknowledge what I'd been going through, facing life as a black, lesbian, queer girl. Dr. Morfield. So how did you deal with that? Kamala. How can you deal with being black, lesbian, and queer in today's world? You gotta be tough. Dr. Morfield. No. I meant how did you deal with Samantha not wanting to acknowledge your pain and struggles? Kamala. Well, I got mad at her. Dr. Morfield. And? How did she take that? Kamala. She fell apart. Couldn't deal with it. Dr. Morfield. So then what'd you do? What could I do? She was not well, so I let it go. I mean, she'd really been through a lot with being assaulted. Dr. Morfield. What about you? Were you just an innocent bystander? She told me you also had a police club shoved into your rear. Kamala, exhaling heavily. There's a whole history behind all this for me, and I don't feel like going into it right now because I'm very private about my own history, if you don't mind. That's all right. I respect you if you want to keep your history to yourself. But I'm still concerned that you put your own needs aside to care for her. Maybe caring for her is your way of escaping dealing with your own issues? Kamala, peeved again. I've told you already, Doctor. I've dealt with my issues. This incident really affected her more than it affected me, who doesn't have a sheltered middle class background. Okay, now we go to a not yet scripted part where there are notes. Internal, in the scene where Joey is getting on Mike for his being a sexual harasser. And this kind of harkens back to the scene we left Joey and Mike in the last episode at the house. Mike turns it into his real worry that he may have to pull back some of his help for the kids. Joey really hurts him by suggesting that he'll ask Ma being Gloria, Mike's ex-wife. That really stings Mike, so he insists he won't cut back on the support for the kids. Joey, I don't know why you're making it such a big deal. So what if Ma helps? Besides, this one's a total delinquent sex pervert thanks to someone I won't name, who's going to end up doing time at the rate he's going, forget about college. And that one, just to frustrate her hard-working dad, is running off with a black, get this, not man, but girl, just to get back at her father. And now is headed for a trauma nervous breakdown and is becoming a major drug addict. So I don't see either of them going to college, if you ask me. Mike, can you say that in one breath? Joey, what? Mike, never mind. Listen, they're going to go to college, even if it's on the last penny I got. Joey, you're being foolish, Dad. Ma's around and can help. I wish you two would put aside your stupid quarrel after 100 years of this stupidity. Mike, you know what? That's the first sensible thing I've heard you say since I can't even remember. But I'm sorry, it's a matter of principle. Joey, oh geez, don't start with that again. It's a matter of ego, plain and simple, and you know it. And that's as far as I got. I know I'm going to flesh that scene out. Okay, returning to the scene with Dr. Morfield and Kamala. Dr. Morfield. All right, let's get back to what you were saying before about you got mad because you weren't being paid attention to, and she couldn't take it, so you just let it go. I mean, I understand that it might really have been your best option in that moment, but still, you just dropped her own needs to take care. You just dropped your own needs to take care of hers. That's where I'm concerned. You need more support than. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. That's where I'm concerned. You need some more support than you're getting. Kamala. I appreciate that, Doctor, but I do hold my own with her. Like when she tried to stop me from having the sex change. I was very firm with her about it. Dr. Morfield. Oh, I didn't know you changed your gender. That's pretty major. Kamala. No, I didn't change my gender. But that wasn't because of her. Dr. Morfield. Well, you got me in a real quandary with this whole topic, because I don't know how comfortable I'd be if my wife decided to become a man. That's really major, and I'd expect her to be upset about it if she felt she had no voice in it. Kamala. But that's what you're talking about, isn't it? I wanted to change genders for a long time before I met her. You can't expect me now all of a sudden to put those plans on hold because we're in a relationship together. Dr. Moorfield. Wow. But you know what? Stops himself. You know what? Let's go back a little. You're sitting before me, a girl, and apparently you had considered changing genders for a long time. Then Samantha came along, and you told her your gender plans, which is appropriate. She objected, and here you are today, not having gone through with it. There seems to be a missing link here. Isn't it that you changed your mind? Or you're still planning it, but not at this time? Kamala. No, I actually did change my mind after this incident, so it turned me off to men, seeing what they were capable of. But it wasn't Samantha. Let's keep going. I'm sorry. I got a really bad mouse on my computer that doesn't cooperate. Okay, so let's go back. The last line that was stated was, Kamala, no, I actually did change my mind after this incident so turned me off to men seeing what they're capable of. But it wasn't because of Samantha. Dr. Morfield. Got it. So even though the incident didn't affect you as intensely or severely as Samantha, it did impact your life in a major way. Kamala. I guess so. But I'm still trans because trans has many gradations, like completely the stereotypical gender you weren't born to completely non-binary, where you don't see yourself and don't want to be seen as either a man or a woman. It's the liberation from traditional gender roles that makes one trans or queer. Dr. Morfield. Yes, I understand. Kamala. You can see I'm not wearing makeup, and people have many times mistaken me for a boy. Maybe even that cop who lunged at me because when I tried to protect Samantha by pulling her back from the trouble, he thought I was trying to attack her, as racists often do, especially with young black men. Dr. Morfield. What kind of trouble are you referring to? Kamala. All right. We were at a Black Lives Matter protest in LA, and it started to get chaotic. There were people throwing rocks and bottles at store windows. Samantha was yelling at them to stop, and I got worried for her. Things would not go well if she kept getting upset like that. Then the cops moved in, and as soon as they grabbed and handcuffed me for trying to protect my girlfriend, she really went ballistic on them. Dr. Morfield. Wow, brave girl. Kamala. Yeah, I feel the same way. But she could use some of my wisdom. Excuse me. Let me try to say that again. Yeah, I feel the same way, but she could use some of my wisdom and restraint. At any rate, maybe this was all, as you said, a good thing, because we both came out of it with a wise lesson in life. Dr. Morfield. That's a great way to look at it. Internal, Jenny's living room day. And now we're in another unscripted, or not completely, it's more like notes that we're reading here. Giselle tells her ma and Jenny how she got scared when she was finally able to make it to Jenny's door, but Jenny didn't answer, and she freaked out because the house at home was chaos. The house where Joey, Mike, Josh, it was crazy. So, and they had gone partying the previous night, so she just needed a place to escape to. And when Jenny didn't answer, she freaked out and called her mom, who lives 1,000 miles or however many miles away in Oklahoma. Roseanne, I told you it was a bad idea to settle in California. You should have come home and grown up a straight Christian girl. Giselle, what do you mean grown up? I was pushing 30 in case you forget. I was a mature adult woman choosing a mostly mature adult man. You mean to tell me those men back home are any better? Joey's responsible for a man. He earns a paycheck, is running an auto repair business. Roseanne, what kind of career is that? You married down. You could have married a banker, a pastor, a real businessman with a desk. Giselle, Joey's got his own office with a desk. Roseanne, oh, come on. You mean that ramshackle, dirty, greasy counter that he's got to stand at just to be at? I mean a private office with a computer and real office chairs and a carpet. Giselle, plus, I'm a straight Christian girl. That's got nothing to do with it. Jenny smiles knowingly. Giselle to her quietly, not a word to anyone. Roseanne, oh yeah? Well, how come you went drinking and told me you have no place to stay? What do you expect me to believe? Giselle, hey, everybody needs a break once in a while. Roseanne, not with Jesus, you don't. Giselle, oh, don't start that again. You mean to tell me everybody's clean and sober in Oklahoma? Roseanne, every Christian is. Giselle, Ma, I'm going to hang up. Thanks for calling me back. Okay, internal hospital patient room day. Dr. Morfield is sitting with Kamala. Dr. Morfield, my main concern with you is to prepare you for what's ahead in terms of Samantha's recovery. Post-traumatic stress disorder is a very pernicious health disorder. That means that although in many cases it can improve with treatment on a steady slope, many people unfortunately get repeated relapses, which is hard enough for the patient, but even harder in many ways for those trying to support and love her. Kamala's attention and interest are piqued as she focuses more intently on what he is saying. Dr. Morfield. You could easily not see them coming, but it is also true that with knowledge of how PTSD works, you'll be able to identify the triggers that will come up and help her deal better with them. Many of them will have nothing to do with the original incident and will come from inside her, from her internalization of the incident and her processing of it. So, my big concern is, will you be able to take care of yourself and your own needs and not get sucked up by hers? We're going to do our best to give her the support she needs, but it can't be anything less than a process, something you'll be caught up in. You're going to need to make doubly sure you get the support you need and not just try to keep it together on your own. Your mom is one support system, but if you start to feel either swallowed up by Samantha's problems or just feel overwhelmed, off balance, angry, like something's not right, please call me or reach out. And when I say not right, I mean not right with yourself. Now, once Samantha's stabilized and better, then you can ask her for the support you need that she hasn't been able to give you during this healing period, but not like in a you owe me kind of way. And show her how much you appreciate her being there because she's really going to need to feel validated, especially after having been unable to give support to others for so long, and at that crucial period in someone's life when you yearn to feel that validation and gratification of giving. Kamala, it's okay. You don't have to worry. I work with people who deal with even worse situations. Samantha's someone I love, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to support her and go through our challenges together. I'm in it for the long haul. Dr. Morfield, thank you for telling me that. I needed to be sure you understood me. And I really am thankful you've got it so locked up in a good way. Internal living room day, Mike and Joey are talking, C1 below. Joey says, well, you can help Josh, but can I trust you with him? Mike, hey, speaking of, you haven't said a word about Giselle. What's been going on with her? Okay, so then the next part after that is what I already read. So that what I just read might come to. All right. Thank you, everybody. I'm really glad that you joined me today, and let's have great success with this. Again, if anybody wants to be a reader, if anybody is connected to the TV production industry and wants to help out, I can use your help like more than you can imagine. If you like the material, let's get this before the public. Thank you. Bye-bye.